So here we have my custom Kitbash operators. They are made from the G.I. Joe Outback torso, Action Force legs, hands, weapons, and web gear. I use the Outback torso because of the better articulation, specifically the ball joint on the neck peg. Prior to, I believe, Series 5, the Action Force figures did not come with a separate neck piece, which is absolutely crucial when it comes to posing these figures with firearms. That extra movement in the neck is what really sells or make these figures look like they're actually aiming down sight, sending rounds down range. And also, I really like the look of the beefiness in the arm muscles of the Outback torso. To me, it really makes the figure look that much better, and it really gives it that operator look, at least in my headcanon. Let me go ahead and show you how I kitbash this figure and what extra modifications I did to it for some extra articulation. First, you're going to boil and pop your G.I. Joe Outback torso from the legs at the waist. I did this by warming up a mug of water in the microwave for 2.5 minutes and dunked the figure torso first, only up to his lower torso where the ball peg connects at the waist. This way you prevent warming up the actual peg itself and warping it or breaking it when you pull the torso apart. If the peg does happen to get stuck in there or just won't come out, you can always cut it, grind it, and Dremel it out of place. Now that the torso is separate, you are going to crack open the Outback torso by dunking it back into the hot water for about a minute or so the glue can warm up and soften. You are going to pop off the arms at the butterfly joints. I like to use a flathead screwdriver because it makes this process a whole lot easier. All you have to really do is get the screwdriver in there and pry out the joints. And then with an X-Acto knife, you're going to cut right into the seams and then resubmerge the figure to keep it soft and warm. And then with 2 flathead screwdrivers, you're going to slide them right into these slots right here and pry the torso apart. Just be cautious and look for stress marks or any discoloring of the plastic. That means that it cooled down way too much and you need to rewarm it up. Go ahead and warm up the water again if you need to. And with some force, the torso should crack right open. Perfect, just as planned. I went ahead and removed the neck peg, and with a Dremel, I shaved off some of the plastic around the base of the neck to allow for a better range of motion. I even went as far as to Dremel down some of the collar as well, and also shaved down the edge of the chest where the butterfly joints sit. This also greatly improves the figure's range of motion. Now, it ain't a crazy amount, but it's definitely noticeable. In order for this classified torso to fit onto the Valaverse waist, you are going to Dremel away inside of this socket. And what I like to do is use this Action Force torso for reference. First, I measure the depth more or less by seeing how far this attachment goes in. And then I make sure it's the same on the G.I. Joe. And then in a circular motion, I Dremel out some width, making sure it matches the Action Force figure. This is an important step, so be careful and take your time doing this. And for some extra movement, I like to sand away at the edge of this part right here. So in order for the Action Force hands to fit into this G.I. Joe wrist peg, I did Dremel it out using this attachment right here. I just Dremeled some depth into it and then kept test fitting the Action Force hand until it fit perfectly. And lastly, what I like to do for extra movement is I like to sand down right behind the knees right here. This allows the knees to bend just a bit more further, giving it more posability. But just remember while you're doing all of this to take your time and go little by little, making minor adjustments wherever they may be needed. Now all that is left is to reassemble the figure. If you need to heat up the figure, or the torso, to attach it to the Valaverse legs, that's completely fine, man. Some of my torsos pop on without heat and some don't need the heat to pop on. So that's okay, as long as it's not loose or wobbly. And now you got yourself a badass Kitbash figure. The great thing about this mod is that you can mix and match all kinds of different web gear, loadouts, head sculpts, and even modify other G.I. Joe torsos like this Duke right here. Now, how exactly does this size up next to the other figures in my collection? Well, let's get right into the size comparisons. Let's rock and roll. Now, before getting into the posing section, I just want to sign off by saying that I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you get through whatever it is you're going through. Remember, hard times make hard people, pain is temporary, and find a way or make one. See you on the next one.